Zach, what do you call a sheep that can sing and dance?
I don't know.
Lady Baba.
How do you make a tissue dance?
I don't know.
Put a little boogie in it.
Nice. My wife's mad at me because I didn't buy her flowers. I didn't even know she sold flowers.
Yesterday, my wife said, "Are you even listening to me?" And I just thought that was a really weird way to start a conversation.
I usually feel the same way.
Hello, my name is Zach Watts, owner and head coach of CrossFit Illuminate, and we've been here for 4 years. Loveland is just family. It just feels like it's a very tight, close-knit community. We love going down to downtown, eating down there, hanging out in the area. Everyone's super nice, and we just love having built our community here.
Zach, just want to thank you so much for being here. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you so much for taking some time to come talk with us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet, you bet. So why don't you talk a little bit, tell us a little bit about your business, CrossFit Illuminate, right?
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about it, what you guys do. I'm well aware of what you guys do because I get told.
Yeah.
But why do you do it in the land of love?
So my wife and I own CrossFit Illuminate here in Loveland, Ohio. We've been there for about 4 years. It's an instructor-led class. Every class is an hour, different from other gyms and different fitness facilities. We are constantly varied, functional movements performed at high intensity. Kind of just sounds random, but the goal of our training is to make you fit for life, whether it's to play with your kids, where your kids are a lot more grown up than most, but play with your kids, if it's to help a friend move, if it's just to be fit for your adventures outside of what you do from your day-to-day life, like hiking or anything. It's to be strong for whatever you want to do in your life. We kind of put our roots down in Loveland because that's the opportunity that got kind of put in our lap. We took over our business. It was named something else prior to us coming in, but our last name is Watts, so Illuminate, light bulb, kind of the whole theme there.
There you go.
But my wife and I both separately loved Loveland. Growing up, I went to school in Eastgate. My wife and I both went to the same high school. We were high school sweethearts. But we both would play sports in Loveland, and we just loved coming here for the bike trail and everything. So when the opportunity kind of presented itself for us to be in Loveland and doing what we love, which is CrossFit, we jumped right on it. And we're very thankful to kind of be in this position 4 years later.
Yeah, great. Obviously, I see some videos of some workouts and things like that, and frankly, it just scares me to death. But so let's say an old, fat, out-of-shape guy comes walking in. I mean, do you actually tailor things for the different levels of people come in and things?
Absolutely. That's kind of just a stereotype that people throw out there all the time, that you have to be fit to start CrossFit, or it's for the elite athletes or all this kind of stuff, which is a total lie across the board. We take people in who've never worked out before a day in their life, to never jumped rope before, to people who want to compete at the CrossFit Games. We're happy to help anyone who walks through the door. We can create or modify any workout that we have directly to you. Hey, you got a bad knee, we'll help you kind of modify things so you don't have to squat. You can't jump, you can't run. We have plenty of options that'll help you make the workout accessible to you and exactly what you're looking for.
Perfect. You just described my workout. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course.
So, no, I mean, and I know a lot of your clients and things, and they are successful in what they're doing in there, right? They're very appreciative of what you're providing here in Loveland.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
So, you say you make it down to Loveland. Is there anything in Loveland that you kind of get excited about? Or if you come down to Loveland, where are you heading?
Yeah. So the other day, someone asked us how frequently we went to Loveland. Is it just here and there? And we probably said about 6 days a week we're down in downtown Loveland doing something, whether it's the hometown cafe, getting breakfast or coffee, or if it's taking our now oldest son, now that we have 2 kids, to the park over here. He really loves that over there, and with our newborn growing up and whatnot, I'm sure we'll be down there more once he's a little bit older. But we just love the whole trail. We walk all the time, bringing the kids to do stuff. We love Ramsey's. Everything down here is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. They keep things exciting.
Yeah,
There's
very much
plenty
so.
to do.
Yeah.
So anything like with CrossFit Illuminate or anything? Is there anything exciting upcoming that you want to share?
Yeah, very much so. On July 19th, we are hosting a workout in the park right over the way over here at the Nisbet Amphitheater. And this is our 4th time doing this now. It's a free workout for the community. It's kind of led by our coaches. We'll have all of our coaches down there to help modify. Hope to see you down there. But a lot of things over in the park will involve kind of body weight movements, a little bit of running or walking, but just kind of a general workout for the community and kind of just get our name out there a little bit. And then immediately following that Saturday, so the week after that, will be a friends and family week where you can bring in all of your friends and family to come to any classes and kind of get an own taste of like what CrossFit is and what CrossFit Illuminate is about.
Okay, great. And I know you guys have done a number of like charity workouts. I see, this is this workout and it's for this and things like that. So I know you guys do a few of those or any of those you want to touch on or?
We don't have anything on the books right now, but we just finished up one in the open, which is like a CrossFit kind of challenge that we've done a couple months ago. But that we did a canned food drive for the local Life Pantry, and we donated, I think it was 3,000 different pieces to the food pantry, and that was
fantastic.
Probably one of our largest ones we've had yet.
That's great.
Yeah,
and definitely something that's needed. So
yeah, very much so.
Thanks for doing that. I've been out of high school and stuff and really sports for a while now, but can you describe maybe how working out and things like that and getting in shape, how maybe that's actually changed here in the last several years or something like that? Is there a different way of how you look at approaching it and things?
Yeah, I think overall, like CrossFit itself, like quote unquote CrossFit, is a newer thing. It started in the early 2000s. But really, like the form of exercising is not new. They just put a name to it. So if back in the day, I'm sure you probably in sports ran, pushed a sled, kind of did some burpees, some push-ups and whatnot. But back in the day, the creator, his name was Greg Glassman. He just kind of put the concept together and put a name to it. So it's not like a new form of exercise, but like the actual name itself is fairly new. But I think the main thing is it's just fun. It's different every single day. You're not going in staring at yourself in a mirror doing bicep curls, just bench pressing. I'm not downplaying those things, but that was never something that I was super interested in. And so to have this whole large kind of just basket of movements to choose from every single day and doing it amongst a class setting with people around you makes fitness more fun, more community based, and not just like headphones, don't say a word, and you just kind of go in and go about your way. We want people to build relationships and kind of have that community feel.
And that's one thing I've noticed from the outside looking in is the support system. The trainers and the people who are actually in there working out together, how they are supporting each other during the workout, right? And I'll say it again, just from watching, I mean, some of those workouts are pretty serious. I grew up where it was about throwing around a whole bunch of weight, okay? So I don't know if that's still necessarily true. I know you have people still moving some weight around, but you start to look at some other programs where they're not so much about weight, but they're more about bands and repetition and that kind of stuff. So
it's to each their own. I'm really an advocate for anyone who finds their kind of way of exercising that works for them. Now, I obviously would want people to come in and join us doing CrossFit and stuff, but it's not for everyone, and we know that. Just like spinning or any sort of other fitness is not necessarily that our style that we'd kind of go to, but like we want people to come in and try something different and throw some weights around. We got very, very strong people in the gym, your daughter included, who probably outlift you. So it'd be fun for you to come in and try it.
I've watched her do it.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, it is funny. Like people will see her on Instagram or something like, and they're like, "Geez, oh Pete, that's I mean, it's a serious amount of weight and some things." So it truly is impressive. So let me ask you, I have 2 more questions for you. So if you were to give someone some advice, let's say you're looking at a couch potato who hasn't really worked out in a decade, or something. I mean, what's your advice to someone who's really just getting started? How would you approach that?
Honestly, the very first thing I'd say is just to get started. There's a quote out there. It says the best time to plant a tree was 5 years ago. The second best day is today. So I would say just get started. We can create a path and get you moving, and Rome wasn't built in a day. So it'll take some time, but we'll get there.
Perfect. Someone always says, how do you plant a field of wildflowers? 1 seed at a time.
Yeah.
You know what? And that's honestly the truth. It's 1 seed at a time. So I love that. So If someone wanted to peek into CrossFit Illuminate and see what's going on and maybe just try it out or something like that, what's the best way to do that?
Best way to do that, every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We have free community classes. That's every week since we started. I will say that's more of like an aerobic kind of partner workout feel, so a little bit more endurance-y, which is not necessarily a super true representation to what the week looks like, but it's a good way to kind of test the community, see what it's like, see what CrossFit kind of has in store for like our community itself, because every gym is different. But you can come every Saturday, or you can try out the free Friends and Family Week that's coming up, whatever the 22nd is of July. Starting that week, we'll have Friends and Family Week, so they can come out and give us a try.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Anything else that you'd like to share about Loveland or CrossFit Illuminate or anything?
Not necessarily. The only thing I would say is just come out and give us a try, whether it's the bike trail, if it's an awesome place to eat down here, if it's coming directly for us and CrossFit Illuminate. We'd love to have you out here. Yeah.
I enjoy my seat at La Rosa's watching out the window as people run around on La Rosa's. It's entertaining for me. No.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
So, hey, Zach, I 100% appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I mean, I think we see it there as we go head up Loveland Madera Road, but I don't think everyone knows exactly what's going on there. So I'm glad you were here to share with it a little bit. And who knows, maybe it motivated someone to get up off the couch. And so thank you for that. Thanks to you and your wife for starting your business and doing your business here in Loveland. And obviously we wish you nothing but the best and hope you continue to grow. And who knows, maybe you'll have to get a bigger spot or something. We'll see what happens.
That'd be a good goal for down the road. But thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
If you're coming to Loveland, come try CrossFit Illuminate. We'd love to have you in for a free workout. Saturdays at 9 a.m. are always free. After that, you can hit up one of the local restaurants. Hometown Cafe is awesome for some breakfast, but we'd love to have you out.
Hey, Zach, so this is partially a finance show.
Yeah.
So, and I think you have a finance question, so we thought we might let Caitlin take a poke at it. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds great.
No, go ahead.
As a small business owner, what can I do to kind of set us up for success in retirement, looking long term?
Yeah, so you have a few options. There's the route you can take where you just work on your own retirement, and it could be through a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, which you can just put money into every month. And as we were talking about before, planting a seed every day into a field to grow flowers, it's the same with retirement.
Yeah.
Just putting a little bit in, and you have a long time until you retire. So starting now, you'll be able to grow a lot between now and retiring. But also on the other side, if you wanted to create a retirement plan for your business, you could also do something like a SEP IRA or a simple IRA, where not only are you putting money away in your retirement accounts, you could also put in a little bit into your employees' accounts, and that would draw in stronger employees and maybe make your business like a more appealing place to work. Yeah. Not that it's not already appealing, but maybe just offer that extra little benefit.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'd hit you with two things if I can remember them. Businesses very often, they're very conservative with their money, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but a lot of businesses just have their money sitting in a savings account or something at the bank. And the bank and the savings account is not going to pay you a great rate, if anything. Whereas like right now, the silver lining to the last few years is interest rates have gone from like about 0.5% up to 4.5%, right? So you want your corporate or your company assets to be relatively conservative, but you also want them working for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are vehicles out there, and you can ladder portfolios and things like that to say, I know I need this money in 6 months, I need this money. And so you can actually ladder portfolios to take advantage. So instead of making 1% at the bank, you can make 4.3, 4.4% right now with your corporate money or assets. So is it going to be a huge difference? No, but is it going to be a step in the right direction? And you always want your money working for you. Mm-hmm. And that's true. That's the same with your company assets. So, yeah, I would, that's definitely. And then the only other thing is you have a good amount of equipment and things like that. Make sure you're talking to your tax person to make sure you're taking advantage of, making some capital purchases and things like that. Look at your tax situation as you get closer to the end of the year, and if it's appropriate, yeah, then maybe that's your chance to go buy some new equipment or something like that. So yeah.
Okay.
Zach, once again, just thank you so much for being here. I learned a few things, and craziness might happen, and I might get motivated. We'll see what happens. But again, thanks for everything you're doing in Loveland. We love to have businesses in Loveland. We don't have a huge corporate or retail or whatever commercial tax base in Loveland. So definitely appreciate you being here. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Caitlin.
Yep.